My name is Anna, and this is my husband Leif Erik. He came up with this idea to build a simple catamaran, put it in a container, and send it from ice-cold Norway to Tahiti in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This way we could start sailing in paradise. I said, what a crazy idea, let's do it. So this is the adventure of building and sailing BoraBora. And the story starts when finally coming back after 3 years of the pandemic. We have this wonderful dinghy. She's made of plywood, but she still looks sort of like old-fashioned. And she's very, very good to row, you know. It's so nice to row, to use your body. One thing is, why do all these people have these rubber dinghies? They use lots of petrol, they go very, very quickly, they don't see anything. When you row a dinghy, like really slowly, you see so much more, you know. You can see like shoals of aquarium fish in the water. You can see rays, like manta ray and different types of rays. You could even sometimes see like sea turtles. Why do people go so quickly? I can't really understand it. I really love my dinghy. And I would very often like just row slowly along the beach. Just, you know, talk to people, say hello. People would very often comment, you know, oh, you're doing good, or something like that in the local language or in French. And paddlers, because there are so many, you know, so many local paddlers, really good ones. It's a big sport in French Polynesia, and especially I think in Huahine, to paddle 1, 3, 6, I think even up to 12 people. And they paddle, I think it's like this. They paddle, you know, they sit the way and look towards the direction where they're paddling. While when you row, you row and you're actually, you know, going that way, but you sit like rowing with the back towards where you're going. And then you use both oars to turn the boat around. And the locals, they really like to see that, because if someone with a rubber dinghy doesn't have their engine working, they just help each other, and they maybe just row a little bit, but they're not really very good. So our dinghy, we had left her upside down under the roof when we left in 2019. At some point somebody had moved it out, maybe to use the table, you know, to hang around on the boat. So the boat had been out in the air, which means out in the sun and out in the rain. And especially the rain, it's not good for plywood or wood. And it was laying also on the top of like a beam that we have in the back of the 2 hulls. And that beam was in a bad condition. So at this point we could see that the dinghy she sort of looked soft, is what we called it. So we were not sure if it was insects, termites, something like that. Was it the rain, or had she actually crashed into something? We didn't know it by then. But we knew that that we needed to turn her carefully, and I was a bit scared, you know, that the beam in the back would actually, you know, it would break, and what would I do if everything broke? So Anna and I were having lots of discussions on how to do this, how to sort of like turn the boat carefully around, put it on the swimming platform, which is, it's a ladder and a swimming platform, like a rather wide one, and push her out in the water. And you know, being carefully about this and discussing it a lot, laughing a lot. And when you look at the film afterwards, you can laugh even more, because, you know, we're just like running back and forth. Is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? And what we really wanted, you know, is that we wanted to hoist her up. So hoist her up like in the air, but we didn't have anything in the air. And we were just laughing so hard about this. And
Nå følte jeg meg veldig langt unna noe som helst. Jeg har ikke kontroll.
Nei, men det har vi ikke, og da skjer det, så skjer det liksom.
Can you stand on that side with a rope, and I stand there, and could you pull that, you know, and...
Nå kommer det til dunk.
Ja, vi gjør det. Hadde vært bedre om vi dyttet ham bare videre den veien der. Jeg tror vi klarer å dytte den her, ja. Jeg tror vi klarer å dytte den utover der, rett og slett.
A lot of these things, you just have to try it, you know. I mean, if you've done it before, you know how it works.
Det der jeg synes er skummelt, om neste jokk, liksom, så kan den bare dunke, og så kan den rive av leiren og alt.
Ja, men hva skal vi gjøre for noe?
And you maybe, you know, you would realize yourself that this is not the way to do it, or this is the way to do it.
Men hva om vi holder her da?
Og så skulle vi lagt den der jæskla dumme matta som ligger der under der, der vi lander på noe mykt.
Ja.
Bra. En, og to, tre, og en, gjør at vi teller først. En, og to, og tre, og dra! Er nedpå nå. Og vi hekter de taggene som jeg har glemt, de der svarte røde der, nei, hvite der. De har vi også glemt å kutte. Da må vi bare ut med kniven, saksen og kjenne alt sammen. Nå har ikke jeg tenkt hvordan jeg kommer opp igjen.
Nei.
Nå går det bra.
Og den leideren er ikke veldig tung eller farlig?
Og vi gjorde det. Perfekt. Perfekt.
Then Ane went in the dinghy to see the condition. How was she really, you know, why is she soft or what?
Plywood is almost like paper. And it's very, very good that we have managed to survive so far. And Ane and I will now start fixing. You can even show where it's going sort of like down on the side there. That one, yeah. It's really, really, really bad.
And it's soft all the way.
It's soft all the way. Not soft ice cream. It's soft boat.
She was like soft, I would say like soft paper, like all the way to the back. And later it turned out that, you know, also in the back it was almost like paper. So at that point, we were sort of on the list, check, you know, anchors, that all the things we needed to fix. So we were thinking, oh, you know, later we were gonna fix the dinghy for sure later. And I must admit that later, for Anne and me, it turned out that we actually didn't do it. We did the row really, really carefully, and I had this system with some small ropes tied to different places, so if the side of the dinghy would break, I didn't really try it, but I could maybe row putting the oars into these ropes. we did row the dinghy very, very, very carefully. And also when we came ashore, we really didn't want help from anyone, because we were scared that, you know, they were going to lift it on that soft part. And we also told the children that we saw on the beach that do not touch the dinghy, do not touch it, or you are, you know, I will do something like, you are dead. And if you don't touch it, I'll bring you Coca-Cola. Anyway, the kids were really good in BareBare, and they never touched the dinghy, so we actually managed to keep her through the whole stay of Ame, 1 month, and the extra 10 days when I was there by myself. And when Leif Erik arrived, he immediately started fixing the dinghy. We arrived in Norway in late August after a wonderful year of sailing. And we had made the decision we wanted to build a catamaran and send her in a container to Tahiti. It was such a crazy idea, but we had decided we wanted to do it. So we knew we first had to build the boat, put her together, assemble her, and then sail her a bit in Norway, and then dismantle her and put her in a container and send her off. Arriving back in Norway, everything got very hectic. First, Leif Erik, which had problems with his stomach, it turned out he had to take a gallstone surgery. And right after that, we started building a shed. We needed a shed for our boat Dvina to keep all kind of tools and things. And on the top of that, we started dividing our flat in Oslo into 2 flats, like one big and one smaller one, that we could rent out to make some money for our adventures. And actually on the top of that, we were living in 2 different places, because I was living in the flat in Oslo. I was doing my publishing work, because I publish books. And guess what? It's books about sailing, you know, like crazy sailors like us. So I was working, publishing my books, while Leif Erik was living in another town and working in the local shipyard. And we would sort of, you know, weekends I would be there or he would be here, you know, like change every weekends and meet up. So it was very hectic. And that's when we, you know, let's go for another project, which was building the catamaran. We knew where to find friends to join us. So first it was Jan. Jan was a carpenter and an old friend of us. Jan had built a Viking ship, not only once, but he rebuilt it when it sunk in the Faroe Islands. And he later sailed and rowed it to Istanbul. Jan was a carpenter running a carpenter shop in Oslo, and he had also joined Leif Erik sailing Dvina from Russia to Norway. Oddvar was older, and he had helped us a lot when we started our sailing career. We bought an old boat, and things kept breaking all the time, so we would very often like cry on Oddvar's shoulders to help us out. Oddvar was a retired teacher and had a lot of, you know, he knew lots of theory. Both were very enthusiastic and immediately said, yes, it's such a good idea, let's do it. My brother Aslak and his girlfriend Ita was the next to join the team. They had a big house south of Oslo with a huge garden, and they said we could, you know, do the building of the boat in their garden. Later, Sofia joined us. She was to become a carpenter and was Jan's girlfriend. So at this time, again, we were a team of 7. We looked at different designs and really liked the design of Moama. Very, very traditional and very beautiful looking, but she was not very big. And with maybe as much as 5 people on the boat on the same time, we needed something bigger. So we decided to settle for Tiki 38 feet. But with the deck house, which was in the design, she could not fit the container. So we decided to remove the deck house, make her flush decked, And that would of course give us less room inside, but because we were sailing in the tropics, we thought we didn't need that much space inside anyway. We also settled for 1 mast instead of 2 masts. It would be easier for us to handle, to build 1 mast, and we didn't need twice as many sails. James Warham, the designer, gave us the permission to do these changes of the boat, and he sent the drawings, and we were ready to start. Thank you for watching my stories. If you like what you have seen, I can make more videos. But to be able to do that, I need a little help. To keep the videos coming, you can support me by subscribing, by hitting the like button and the notification bell. It takes a lot of work and effort to make these videos, and if you want to help me a little extra, please check out my Patron. Thanks to all my supporters.